Don't say anything. Just act like nothing happened.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, from border to border and coast to coast, and all the ships at sea. Blue Fox and Frog Bob are back for another podcast. Gotten a lot of good feedback from the other one, and we want to
Which
see.
other one? Hold it a second. Which other one was it? We've recorded 30 of them.
No, there was one from last week
Oh,
that we
okay, that
recorded.
one. I just wanted you to specify because some of the ones we recorded, like all of them except for last week, weren't
Yes.
very, very interesting.
Right, we're going to forget all of those.
But that's getting off topic. So continue.
Right, and what I was going to say last week, what we tried to have a discussion about was that when you get older and you retire and you get one close to 80, maybe almost the clock is ticking, he'll be there soon, and the other in his 80s, as to...
Oh, that was the clock. I thought that was the crocodile with the clock inside his chest.
I know, exactly, but that's, what is that from? That's from
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Okay. Quickly you forget.
Well, last week we talked about what it is, what purpose you have in life anymore. You know, when you get to that age.
And we lost the only viewer or listener that was listening when we started with that topic. But that's okay. We endeavor to go on.
Yes, and this week we're going to talk about.
You know how we lost him, don't you?
How?
He croaked. He didn't leave the room. He didn't fly off to a holiday in the Bahamas. He just flat out died. He didn't want to listen to us anymore. So he took the final escape. But that's okay. We'll continue anyway.
Be careful what you say about croaking when you're talking to Frog Bob.
I know. You get a little excited.
Right. Croaking, you know.
I know.
So what we would like to change the topic this week. But wait a minute. I lost you.
I know. I'm having a little technical difficulty with my football helmet mask is falling all over my face, and the microphone is finding my ear instead of my mouth, which may be a good reason why I'm fading in and out. My ear stopped talking around my 70th birthday, and I'm getting close to my 80th.
And I have lost the picture that we had.
No, you're right there. I see you.
Oh, good. You see you. I can't see me or you.
Well, you don't have to. We're not broadcasting in video.
I know, but I'd like to know who I'm talking to instead of looking at a blank screen. But I guess that's it.
No, your screen is up. I see you.
But that's you seeing me.
And you're also.
I don't see me.
I got another question for you.
Oh, I see me.
Your face is in the dark. Why is that? Have you turned off all the lights, or haven't you paid the bill?
I work in the shadows.
Well, maybe you ought to give the company, what is it, FP&L? They may want some money every month.
I know. I'm trying to stay away from that.
I know. You better say something to them, or they're going to turn off not only your lights, they're going to turn off your life.
Right. So I'm in this shadow.
I can't see it. I don't see any. I don't see contrast, and they're asking me to take some sort of an eye operation where you see.
Okay, contrast. Wait a second. Let me go ahead and turn.
Maybe you should move back. You disappeared. You walked into an invisible shield, I think.
Is it any lighter now?
I don't think you're Captain Kirk.
Any lighter?
No. You have to be the one that's well lit, not the bridge.
Well, I'm trying to.
Well, that's an interesting look. You just disappeared into the bay.
Well, that's because I'm working to make it lighter.
Turn on some light, any light. That was good. That was sort of like a Rorschach test for the technical age.
That's what I'm doing.
But none of our audience, by the way, can see any of this.
I know. So this is all for your comfort, to make it lighter so you can see me.
It doesn't matter to me if you're in the dark.
What the hell am I doing then?
Then sit down.
Let's get back.
All right.
All right, let's get back to our topic.
I'm leaving that set up for another day.
Right, let's get back to our topic. The topic.
What is our topic?
If you will, listen for a second. The topic is when you get older and you retire and you've been in business, not necessarily jobs, but been in business, and you've in that business, you've run a business, whether it's with 20 people, 50 people, whether you're doing 800,000 or 4 million or whatever it is, you have power and respect, which you no longer have when you're sitting out at the pool watching the ripples of the water go by.
Right.
No
Depending on
one
where the
cares
pool
about
is. What if you're at the Beverly Hills Hotel?
Is it? Well, oh, you want to get respect from a bellman?
No, but if you're at the Beverly Hills Hotel and you're giving out cards, you could have all the power in the world. I mean, if you're sitting at the, the Glen Spey Hilton somewhere in upstate New York, maybe not. But you could be.
Remember when you sent me, I trying to think where I was on vacation at a fancy hotel or something. And when I got there, you had sent a telegram, and the telegram read something to the extent of, we can't ship the 10,000 items to your room, unfortunately. It was a crazy telegram that person gave me.
Right, the 10,000 in cash can't be delivered to your room. Please come to the bank at the end of your third day.
Yeah.
and bring the secret password.
Right, it was a ridiculous telegram. Anyway,
And
it's
don't
power.
tell the manager of your hotel.
You go out, you go to somebody's house that you don't know, and all you are is Richie Bassin. You're not Richie Bassin from a business that you have. You can't tell all that. You don't if you have people come in with their problems, you hire people, you fire people, you call the bank, they take your call. Nobody takes your call. Nobody cares about you anymore. This is why they call Florida God's waiting room.
I know. And that happened to me when I sold my first business. You call people and they don't take your call because you're no longer the captain of the ship.
Exactly.
So I realized that I would have to lie. So from then on, I became, like I have the nickname the Blue Fox. I became something that I wasn't. If I called up anybody, I was I remember leaving messages that I was like Major McDonnell, from NASA or anything else. Because you can't leave your own name because you don't represent anybody. So
right.
I just made up who I was so that they would return my call.
That's good.
Yeah, I remember being Major McDonnell from NASA a lot because NASA gets a lot of return calls.
That gets calls, all right.
Yeah, NASA gets a lot of. They don't know why you're calling, but they want to know why you're calling.
The one message that will always 100% get a return call.
Yeah, I'm your wife's attorney.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely, I use that a lot.
That's the best line of all.
Best line, right? I'm your wife's attorney, and I'm calling about your bank accounts in the Bahamas.
Please call as soon as you can.
What are you talking about? I don't have any bank accounts in the Bahamas, no, but I got you to call back. Now let's talk about all those other bank accounts you haven't talked to your wife about for 30 years. What are you talking about? Exactly. Do you have anybody representing you? Because if you don't, I would recommend that you get somebody right away.
When I did that to Marty before he didn't take the call, he just kept me on hold and he called Betty to say, why is your wife, what's happening? He was afraid to pick up the phone.
Betty must have gone into the toilet.
All right, that's it.
Attorney?
Yeah. So that's it. But that is part of what you lose. You now no longer have any.
Sure, no. I remember I read about a bank executive, a guy that owned the bank, and he's sitting at his retirement community by the pool, and nobody's calling him for days on end. And he's saying it's the worst feeling in the world. I used to get 10 calls an hour. He says nobody calls, and if they call, you know who it is? The cleaners. He can't get a spot out of my bathing suit.
I know.
That's the extent of my power.
Exactly. And that is a problem with retirement.
There are people that will advise you about retirement that you have to decide, can you handle that? And sometimes they'll tell you, why don't you take a year and decide, is that what you want? Because that can be devastating, and a lot of people don't want that.
No, but the unfortunate part is age comes in, and you tend to not have the business anymore.
Right, but you can go into other things. Some men or women will go into concomitant roles in charitable organizations.
Hold it. Is that the word of the day? Concomitant?
That's one, excuse me, are you having trouble with my vocabulary?
It was a big SAT word I didn't study.
It's just a regular word to me, sir.
I know.
Listen, you want to use some bigger words? How about lugubrious?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I
Okay,
don't know that fit in the
you can
sentence.
take the words that are concomitant with lugubrious and send them down to the delicatessen. That's a big word,
I know.
especially when
And that's where you see people without power sitting in a delicatessen,
absolutely. We
slapping
want.
down a pastrami sandwich. That's all they got for the day.
I heard somebody say that they won't eat. This was at a deli. I don't want my corned beef extra lean. It's too dry. I said, then you should be ordering pastrami. What are you doing? You want fatty corned beef? That's no way to go. Get yourself a good, fatty pastrami sandwich on soft rye bread, and then smother it with some really spicy, brown mustard, and sit on the side and slobber it down.
I
And
know.
if you're lucky, you'll meet Meg Ryan.
That's putting aside Ned Ryan. When you order a deli sandwich today, you have to order it with a loaf of bread and 4 people because you're paying $42 and they come three-quarters of a pound of pastrami.
I know well, that's if you're in a good place.
Yeah.
You go into Deli Den. It's a little round croquette that looks like if it was made out of broccoli, it would be called a broquette.
I know.
It's not
But
really a
again,
sandwich.
let's get back to the discussion.
There's a topic.
There's a
Absolutely. 10 points and a chance to return to next week's bonus round if you
Right.
remember the topic.
It is about losing power and respect.
You know what? What college you went to? Syracuse, right?
Yes.
You can come back next week for the bonus round and pick 2 other guys from Syracuse to come with you. We'll put you up against my alma mater, Brooklyn College. Unfortunately for me, nobody at Brooklyn College will come.
And I was looking to say I come back, maybe I get 2 guys from Harvard, but that's another
Listen,
thing.
that's all.
But the question is, with
Yes.
this loss of power, how does one combat that and get back that power and respect, even though he's 80
Well,
and doesn't have a business?
you do it through, several ways. You get yourself a gun.
Several ways. Several ways, not just
Well,
one.
the first way is to get a gun because the gun gives you power in a different sort of way. But people will listen to you if you have a gun.
So
You know what? The bigger the gun, the more people will listen to you. It's
So
a direct correlation. It's called the gun theory.
So when you go out and you're invited to somebody's house, you're gonna bring a gun with you and
bring
we'll
the
point
biggest-
and point it at the guy.
I bring the
I got
biggest gun.
something to say.
Right. I keep a howitzer for the biggest parties, and I tone it down for the smaller occasions. If I'm going out with just a small couple, when I go out with little short people, I bring a pistol. If I go out with little children, I bring a water gun.
But that's just one. You told me there were several ways.
The other way.
One way is guns.
Yeah, no. The other way is I pretend to be other people.
But so you make up stories.
Absolutely. If I'm going out with politicians, I dress up like the president. He always has a crowd around them. He's got all these people in black ties with sunglasses.
Red ties, long.
And long red ties that cover your pubic. If I'm going out with entertainment people, I try to look like Cary Grant. Hey, a little Cary Grant. Hey, talk to me. Maybe I'm a little Milton Berle. Makeup. People out there don't even understand.
But is it possible you could mention somebody who hasn't died?
I'm trying to remember famous people. These are my people. Jesse James. No, who's the guy that sang, "Mommy, you're my"? Who's that guy?
Al Jolson.
Alan Johnson.
Jolson.
I'll give you your Johnson.
Remember that guy Johnson? When they had an advertisement. And they said, you can call me Ray, you can call me
Sam,
whatever.
But don't call me late for dinner.
Right, exactly. I just was reading about the guy who died recently, who did 80 years old, who did the commercials for Alka-Seltzer, which one the
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
Right, that's the first one. And then afterward, I can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That was a big one. That was Universal.
Yeah, can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
I take a lot of Pepto-Bismol now.
Well, I don't know any commercial for Pepto-Bismol.
I find that Pepto-Bismol has been a lifesaver, not only for me, but for Lucy.
Oh, okay.
Lucy, 10 minutes. 10 minutes till the end of the commercial, till the end of our meeting.
Oh.
Lucy has been getting Pepto-Bismol half tablets. Excuse me.
But excuse me, for everybody who's listening, Lucy is a dog.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Lucy Edelman Basson Edelman is our little puppy who has so many diseases that they ran out of any kind of medicine. Now they're down to over-the-counter, stuff. And Pepto-Bismol, turns out, has calmed her, and we've upped her over-the-counter drugs that we get on the street from people in Harlem and Liberty City.
Wait, Lucy and I take the same medication.
Actually, I had a discussion with Dr. Lukens, who is Lucy's concierge physician,
Yes.
and about the difference between gabapentin and
Gabapentin.
pregabalin, because I said I happen to have one of the preeminent
Right.
experts on gabapentin in the country. Actually, we probably would take that out into all of the Western civilization. And he happens to be my best friend. He has gone past undergraduate school and has gotten degrees postgraduate and postgraduate. He is, I am telling you, listened to by billions. I am telling you, billions of people on this earth, and he has assured me that pregabalin and gabapentin are not only equal with different kinds of effects. There's no difference in their strength or how strong they are. They're just different. So you just switch them back and forth. There's no real danger that you're going to a stronger pill or a weaker pill. They just have
side effects.
They just have different side effects.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she said, exactly what degrees does he have? What area of expertise is he expert in?
I'm a dog whisperer.
I said, he has Mediterranean.
Mediterranean. Is that
He
Mediterranean?
right. He comes from the world of dogs, but the only expertise is he only feeds them broccoli on Saturdays.
That's
So
it.
he's a Mediterranean. And he has a law degree. He has a tax degree in law. And I think he's also been to jail several times for
Right.
lying to the public. But we don't know that for sure. But this will be a test because I think your degree is in veterinarian science, isn't it?
Actually, if you excuse me, my degree is a doctor degree.
That's
A
right.
doctor-
He has a
doctor
doctor, doctor in science.
Right. So you can call me Doc from now on.
I actually mentioned that. He has a doctor's degree in baccalaureate law degree in science.
In
This
science.
is a man that is looked up to by many people. I can't tell you the power of their I think they call that an IQ. I can't really, I can't back up what people say about the IQ of this group of people that believe in him so heartily. But I've met them, and I take the fifth. I don't want to mention what I think their IQs are, but I will tell you, I love Bob more than I love any other male human being on this earth. He is my mentor. He is someone I have placed trust and faith in over my lifetime, and
Is this
he
getting
assures
ready?
me
Is
that
this for the
these two
human
are
being?
almost the same except for some side effects.
Exactly.
She said, well, your dog on the pre-patent is acting like he should, totally drunk and completely
Right,
unaware of
exactly.
the world around him. And on the gabapentin, he just thinks that he's got less pain than he had before.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference in the
He
drugs.
says, so you have to choose. Do you want a dog that is completely out of it and thinks he's drunk all the time and doesn't bark and doesn't do anything? She said, I would suggest you keep him that way until the grandchildren leave, so he won't do anything terrible. But, he's also not having seizures,
Oh, that's
which is good. She said, my recommendation is keep him on the heavier drug. And then after they leave, we'll experiment by putting him maybe on the gabapentin, 2 times a day, with him on the other one once a day. She said, let me decide on that. Right now, all his neurological signs are healthy.
Well,
The only thing it looks like is he's had 2 margaritas around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
and the most amazing thing as a dog owner He happens to be a she. So,
Yeah, they mentioned that to me.
yeah, so that does,
But but they do say this dog would not be alive without Doris as its mother.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Which,
they realize that.
which shows, which gets back, which circles 180. No, I guess 360. Right back to the point of power.
Power.
Because Doris
That's right.
has had power and respect and then became just a retiree, but she's able to now use that power over her dog and help her to health and earn respect by that and talk about that. You, on the other hand,
Right. They look at me and they said, "Well, the daddy of this dog." I said to her, "The dog would be dead." There were four. There
certainly,
were four veterinarians in the room when I said that, and they all looked at me and they said, "Yeah, we understand that."
right? Yeah, they understand if they understand you.
That's right. I said, "There's no way I'd be running up to all these places that she goes to at 4 in the morning."
Well, okay. Can we get back to the
Oh,
topic?
listen, the little doggy is still alive. I want to give everybody a good little, don't worry about the doggy. We didn't kill him yet. Okay, back to, do you
Back.
have power enough in your
Respect.
reputation to take calls from the president when he doesn't call you at the pool?
Nobody is calling you. Nobody is coming to asking you anywhere. You're out. That's it. And that
Well,
is a
the
retirement
meeting,
problem.
let's bring this to an end, Mr. Halpern. Could you give everybody a summary of what we've now said for the last 10, 15, 30 minutes?
Yes, would you like it in bullet points? Would it be easier?
I think you better hurry because we're about to end.
Well, let's see. Okay. Just to wrap this up, that was again a topic that we mangled, but we hope to have another podcast with another topic about retirement and what it means. That maybe Mr. Basson might be more, how shall I say, erudite on the
Right.
topic, as
The
opposed
next
to
topic is
talking
going to
about
have
his
to.
dog.
I think the next topic is going to have something to do with the years that you spent in prison, but we'll discuss that.
We could talk about that. We could
Right.
talk about that. But in the interim, I guess we're gonna wrap it up and say wish everybody a happy new year.
Oh,
No, no, we can't wish everybody. You gotta what's the
No. I
What?
think you have remaining time of 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
Okay, 2 minutes 14 seconds is plenty. 2 minutes and 14 seconds. People run the 100, 200 faster than that. Take it easy. We have plenty of time.
Why don't you tell that joke about the Black Doctors of America? That was a great joke when you told it the last
Oh,
time.
yeah, I didn't say that joke.
Yeah,
That was your joke.
and you tell it so well.
That's definitely your joke. What was the joke? I just heard a joke.
You want to tell about how Irving can, fly out of the Waldorf Astoria? No?
No,
You don't want to tell that one?
no.
You
I
have so
don't know
many
that-
good jokes.
I don't know that joke.
Oh, okay.
I do know the one. Oh, gee, I had just heard it. Oh well, I'll have to get to my joke book.
You sure
Yeah.
do, because this is no way to end a fabulous 40 minutes.
Right, exactly. Well, we can wish everybody well, and we will work on another podcast with another topic.
No. The
And
next,
maybe a topic that you might stay on for a minute.
the next podcast is going to be nasty. Nasty boy.
Maybe
Nasty.
it should be about dogs.
What show had a character that used to say, nasty boy, nasty, nasty?
Never heard of it.
Oh, boy. Wasn't that on Gilligan's Island?
Gilligan's Island, nasty boy. No.
Yeah.
And then the only question is, did you prefer Marianne or
Tiffany.
no? What was the other one?
Wasn't Tiffany?
No, it wasn't Tiffany. It was Marianne and the wholesome girl, as opposed to the movie actress.
Right. Tiffany.
Wasn't Tiffany? You keep saying Tiffany. You'd be like, that'll make it Tiffany.
Of course, I
No.
think you'll remember it sooner.
Well, anyway, can't remember that either.
1 minute to go, everybody in the
There you go.
audience.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm just going to end it with saying it's always been great. Let's try and come together again.
But your meeting is ended. Hello. Hey, Bobby. So,